Hello, and welcome once again.
Hello.
Walking on Earth, episode 2. We don't know yet what the title is going to be. Let's see what we'll come up with. So, very grateful to have all of you on here once again to this new way of speaking to you, a new format, which really suits us, by the way, because we're out in beautiful nature and we've got the beautiful wind blowing in our face, and
A little bit sun.
we hope that the distortion on the sound won't be too much. This is what you get in nature. You never know what's going to come. Yeah, we've got beautiful sunshine. So how are you doing today, Liz?
I am some kind of between different moods, because we are in Austria. We are celebrating Easter, and for someone who don't know, I am separated from my daughter more than a year now, and it is the second Easter without my...
Second Easter?
Yes, the second one. We are celebrating, or I'm not celebrating, but I am now without my daughter Leonie. And yes, it's...
For how long now?
She have been kidnapped from me last year on the 28th of February.
Now, 28th of February.
So we have more than one year and 2 months, nearly 2 months. And yes, so it's for anyone who doesn't know, it's incredible. Some days you have wonderful sunshine, and some days you are going nearly crazy. Why? Because I miss my daughter, and I can't wait till I have her again in my arms. Why did or who kidnapped Leonie? The social service in Austria. Why? Because I have taken Leonie and me from out of the system, and by kidnapping Leonie, they want to force me to come back to the system and work with social workers, and I said no. And I have to recognize that it's one of the most hardest paths and time I ever have before. Why? Because a mother belongs to her child, and the child belongs to the mother, and it's amazing.
It's that simple, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It is incredible. Yes, it's incredible to stand for it. I've heard an interview of a mother who has a similar story like me, and she has been nearly 3 years without her children, and the children have been kidnapped by the social services without any reason.
And no proof.
No proof. And it's the same like me. They didn't want that I go public with the things what happened in San Corona.
Yeah, so that's an interesting point we would like to pick up. So, you see, everyone watching here, we've often mentioned it in our videos,
Yeah.
but there's a very deep story behind the faces that you see on the videos, and it's been the most challenging time of our life.
Yeah.
And it has everything to do what has been happening around us with this whole scam, this what is actually a mind virus that is spreading here on Earth. Okay, we can conceptualize it very well as a mind virus, And we've been dealing this since the beginning of 2020.
Yeah.
And what me and Liz, our paths crossed in 2021, and it was because we refused from the very beginning to wear a muzzle.
For example, or to get vaccinated, or to make, and we have never made a test. And I also say no regarding my daughter. I took her from the school, out of school, and made some kind of children's group where we are joining with other mothers, and used to take our children, took our children from school, and help us, and help the children, and learn them things really are good to know, not information that doesn't matter in your life. And it was the thing that we did with this decision that we took our children out of the system. We did in the radar.
In the radar of the institutions,
Yes,
of government.
of the government, because they need system holder. And everything, the children come to school because they are programmed for the next generation of system holder.
To keep the system going, basically.
Yes.
And to continue this system of control.
Yeah. And if a mother say no, my child is too worthy, my child is too precious, and it deserves another future, you are the danger for the system.
And you see,
they want you to force you back, to
Yeah.
obey,
to obey.
and to make some steps back and say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
So that's what they want to do with you. Is that what you're saying? Because you see, it's a deep story. Like, many people would say, well, you just have to do what they ask you to do. You have to go along with what they say, so you can that you can see your daughter, and that you can be there for your daughter. But what people don't realize is that you're only allowed to come together with your own child again when the social services have intervened, the institutions of government. When they've intervened, you're only allowed to interact with your daughter again when you give them a signature.
And with the signature, you get, you have to take the responsibility of their actions. And this is not fair. If I would be a dangerous mind or a dangerous mother to my child, I would understand this. But I am not ever been a danger for my daughter. It's the most precious gift I ever have. I love my daughter more than anything else on this world. And this is amazing what happened. And this is, yes, today is special for me. Someone told me, you are such a sunshine. But not always. You don't have the camera 24 hours with you. And I go through hard things too. And at the moment it's really difficult. After that, if you stay on your path, it gets more easier. But at the moment, it takes me a lot to live, to do whatever I like or love, because I miss my child so much. It's amazing.
Yeah, they've basically, Liz, can you just take that?
Yeah.
They've basically taken the heart from a mother away, and the only way you get the child back from the tunnel vision, this perception trap, what David Icke appropriately termed the perception deception. They want to tell you in that tunnel vision that the only way you're ever going to get your child back is to obey to the authorities. But you see, this is not the time to obey authorities anymore, so-called authorities that are not authorities. They are bulldozers, they're criminals, and most of the people listening here, you've not obeyed to the measures that they put in place, and the key is to never ever subordinate to these criminals, because there is a war going on, everyone, and what this system is at war with is what you can see here. It is the natural world. It is the flow of life force that they wish to control. It's this flow of energy that flows through all of us, but they cannot control it. And you see, we are at the epicenter of this war, this hidden war, this war on freedom. And we know that we're going to win, because it's the truth that always wins. And this whole situation that we're finding ourselves in, it's been more than a year now since Leonie, Liz's child, has been kidnapped by the institutions of government here in Austria, or as I like to call them, agents of this control system, who are all privately liable for trespass on private property against the consent of the property owners, of the spiritual beings that are the force of nature, like we are, and like everyone who's listening in here is.
And the thing is, where is Leonie now? She is living with my sister, at my sister's place. And I am only allowed to visit if I subordinate to the court and the social services. Otherwise, my sister doesn't allow me to see Leonie. Why does she? Because she believes in social system or the social workers more than her own sister. I never did wrong to her. I never offend her. But she is so programmed, so conditioned to believe that if the social services do such thing, is because they have reason to do this. They have proof to do this. And it is not so. My mother sent me yesterday some pictures of Leonie, and I was so thankful about it. I cried my heart out. It was, it's the only thing I have, or I get pictures from time to time from my mother, and my mother is too brainwashed, conditioned. We come from the Caribbean, and we have in our genes, we came from slaves that we have always to obey.
Where from the Caribbean?
From the Dominican Republic. And the people there, especially the women, they have in their genes that they have to subordinate whatever the white people something said, or the authorities say. And I think I am the first woman that say, no, I do not subordinate, no matter what authorities say. I trust myself. I love myself. And I know that I never did such a wrong thing. I have never been a danger to my daughter. And if they tell lies about me and I know the truth, what else should I do than stay in the truth, no matter what? And someone say, but this is just a signature. For example, Steve's brother said, it's just only a signature, a short signature, and then everything is gone. From the time I made the signature, I would subordinate and I would have to do everything, every measures they tell me. I should get a job, I should subordinate to the system, to the program. Job, then you have to have a big apartment, because you want to get your daughter some kind in 2 or 3 years back, and it should be enough space and things like that. And
So that dictates to you in
everything.
every single aspect of your life
Yeah.
how you should live.
How water should work.
So you're basically back in kindergarten.
Yes, and the thing is, I should also to get enough money, because my daughter have to be in a what should I say, with other people who take care during I'm working, for example, and I have to get enough money to handle everything like this. It's amazing. I don't do anything to get my daughter back, and then I have to be the whole day in the work to handle the financial with my daughter. It's amazing. It's like you have been in a how should I say, in a box.
Yeah.
They want you to get in a box and not outside of this box.
Yeah. They want to keep you in the box.
They want to keep you in their system. They
And
want to have the power over you.
And they want to keep everyone in the box.
Yeah,
And it's a deep process, isn't it?
yeah,
To get out of the box. It's a normal expression in English. Oh, you just have to think outside of the box.
yeah.
But who manages to live outside of the box? What is the matrix? How do we transcend this multi-dimensional control system?
I stop working for other people to get money. Stop lying. Stop bullshitting yourself and others. Stop having hooks or addictions. Stop eating meat, for example. And stop be honest to yourself, really.
So that is the true essence of natural law,
Yeah.
isn't it? You do not do harm to other sentient beings
and start
and
with
to
you.
nature. And you
start
always start with, it always starts with yourself. So thereby the whole Q Trump phenomenon to wait for a savior in the outside
outside.
is exactly the inversion
Yeah.
of natural law. All creation and the whole awakening is only happening within yourself.
Self.
And only you can be a vessel, a
Yeah.
channel, a conduit for this awakening, or as we like to say, be a voice for the forces of ultimate power.
And stop subordinate ourselves to other mean-like authorities.
To criminals,
Really?
to complicit people who are complicit with criminals.
Yeah.
No matter if it's on a large scale and
Or-
fully obeying, taking the gene therapy, as well as still
Yeah.
going along on whatever level with the criminal agenda.
Yeah. It's the thing, for example, my sister, she has been taking, even she was pregnant, she has been taking 3 vaccines. Hey, why? Because the authorities told her that she should have if she wants to keep her job. And she did it. No asking. It was she was lucky that the child she get don't have at the moment don't have any side effects, but you can't know it for the future. Why do I do this? I harm myself and I could harm myself and my child, and no one believes it or wanted to know. I was meeting her more than 1 month back and tried to talk to her. I was not able to talk to her. She listened to me, but after I was talking to her and tell her my side of the story, she just stand up and leave the room, the cafe we were meeting. It was amazing. My mother was there too, and my brother-in-law was there, and it was some kind if you were in a court, in a military court, where the people ask, okay, this is your side of the story? You don't have to tell anything. Do you want to tell anything else? Not? Okay. You are guilty. We have to leave.
So the only thing that was acceptable to this military court that was your family, the only thing acceptable was to subordinate to their perception of reality. Is that true?
To ask the court for a paper, a piece of paper.
Yeah, a piece of paper. I piss on the fucking paper.
That allows me to meet my daughter.
You have to imagine. This is going on here. It's Looney Town. The mother of the child has to go to the court to ask for permission. Please, I have to ask for permission on a piece of paper, exactly, to see her own freaking daughter.
And it's horrible. It's heartless. Because I thought till this time I thought that they really know me. I was growing up with my sister. She's 3 years younger than I. The whole life we were together. Never been separated. And if you spend the whole time with someone, like your sister, your mother, you think that they know you. They really know who you are and how precious you are. And in this time, you recognize they never get you to know. But not because you didn't show them who you are. It's because they don't want to see. They are not able to recognize who you really are. And they are not able to recognize that no one should have the power to put someone else down, to subordinate other people. And it's also the key. Everything is a chance to get a new way of thinking, a new way of perception, to recognize that you are much precious than you think you was. Because you are able to change your perception. You could stay and say, oh, it's so horrible and I can't do anything, oh. Or I can say, okay, it's not the time to come and together in the things like, and I have to heal myself. Because by healing myself, my path, I will get my daughter back.
And healing your past.
Healing my past.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I would have my daughter with me. I would have to take care of her. And now I have the time to dedicate myself to the things I really want to have in my life. The things I really want to create. And I want to create a future where I am free with my daughter. Where I can choose where we want to live, for example. Or what we want to do. Not as scheduled. You have to be at this time at the school, this time, this. I don't want to send my daughter in a school. Why? Because I don't want her to be programmed, conditioned by people who are not aware who they really are. We're feeding our children with false information.
And an old system that's dying.
An old system who is dying.
So there's no way back for it, truly. And you see the key is inside of us. The key to unlock all the doors, no matter what difficulty you may face at the moment, because there's always going to be challenges, because another word for life is challenge. We've been brought up, basically, to use a metaphor, we've been brought up in a lunatic asylum, where the guards of the lunatic asylum are the ones who are here to enforce so-called law and order, when there only is criminal law and chaos as a result of that criminal law. So we have to recognize the situation we find ourselves in and decondition ourselves from the state of consciousness that we've been programmed with inside of the insanity lunatic asylum that has been waging a war on the human mind for more than a few decades. We're talking at least 100 years, because these psychopaths, they change history. They know about the power of stories. They don't want any story of history of any hero or heroic figure, a mother, a father, any human being who's done a heroic effort to take down this control system and the criminals that run it, and not look the other way. They've messed with history, so we don't actually know what our true history is. Right until the 20th century, we have no clue what went on before. Only clues. And the key to unlock the gates of this prison, they're here. They're in our consciousness. They're in our mind when we search for them. When we make the intention that we want out. And as Liz has already said, when we do the videos, you see that part of us when we do the videos. But like yesterday, I had a really, really difficult day. A very difficult process. This process of awakening is, and that's why we're here, to share our story. Because we, as I've mentioned often, the reason why they went for Liz, okay, they don't want anyone outside of this control system.
No.
There is not a single human being on earth who is ascended or enlightened. No, it does not exist.
Why do we know this?
Why do we know it? Just take a look at the sky. This is meant to be a beautiful sunny day today. And we can be honest in our analysis. When we've got this poison in the sky, we've not fully unlocked the power inside our minds, inside the heart, how we can transcend the poisoning and the poison paradigm. And the reason why they attacked Liz was for the exact reason why I went to St. Corona. Because we rescued, together me and Liz rescued her daughter Leonie from being sacrificed. And that is the ultimate truth. Why is it the ultimate truth? Because these criminals would like to frame me and Liz as insane for saying that. Oh, there is no Satanism. There is only Satanism. That's the truth. Oh, but there is no Satanism. Well, the whole mask theatre is Satanism. It's all Satanism. The whole culture is Satanism. They're all satanic pedophile forces who we have confronted
And say no.
because of the power that we hold. And we are here to take them down. And it's a difficult path to walk. It's the path of the pioneer. We have met a high priest of Satanism in St. Corona. Liz didn't know that she lived there. Tell the people about St. Corona and what went on there, because you had no idea about a high priest of Satanism. I mean, what the fuck is going on? Many people will think this guy's nuts, and you thought I was crazy.
Yes,
at a point.
At first, the first time I saw you, and then you spent some day in St. Corona. You thought I meant to be the high priestess of Satanism, and I didn't know, and I thought, okay, why?
Well, everyone's allowed to make mistakes, isn't it?
I was asking my homemate, are you?
You asked him if he's the high priest of Satanism.
You write a message, or the Chris, or one of the guys with you, brought me a message to say that we are the high priests of Satanism, and I asked him, and he said, no, he's lunatic.
He's psychotic.
Yes, how do you believe this? And then I thought, really, at the moment I didn't recognize that he was programming me to give him my content about my child. And
so it was a very slow process.
Yes, it took
when you were living in St. Corona, there was a slow procedure going on, you would
Yeah.
say, where he was programming you mentally and emotionally
Yeah.
to give consent over your daughter, but consent to what end? What
To-
did they want consent
I
for?
want consent to give my daughter free for sacrifice.
It's for sacrifice, human sacrifice.
Human sacrifice
Well,
under the church in Sanctuary.
Well, wasn't it just the Mayas and the Aztecs that were into human sacrifice?
Yeah, and to eat the heart. Of
But that's
people.
not going on now, is it?
It does. In Austria, it does. It was just the peak of the mountain, of the iceberg, as you would say, that you do see. Because we are in the epicenter of Satanism. This is Austria.
Yeah, the epicenter of Satanism here in Austria, just to
Yeah.
have full clarification
Yeah.
on the situation here.
Why? Because we are in the heart of the earth. The heart of the earth has to be traumatized.
Traumatized.
Because if the heart is traumatized, the heart can't pulse as it should be, can't work as it should work. And the people here would stay on a lower frequency. They are not able to create things. They are under control. And from here is spread over the whole earth. It's amazing to believe. It looks like it's crazy to believe, but it is like this
And that's why no one has to believe.
because we know it.
If the way this works under natural law is that no one has to believe anything, but what we can do is we can disprove any hypothesis, any claims
Yeah.
that we make. So this is the way nature works and natural law works. Okay, Steve's crazy, Liz is crazy for saying that the
Yeah,
epicenter
prove me.
of
Prove me if you
Satanism
can.
is in Austria. Well then, you are invited to disprove that claim,
Yeah.
because this knowledge is not in books. This knowledge comes from what me and Liz have gone through, is experiential knowledge. The highest form of knowledge is when you actually experience it, because then it becomes wisdom. And there's then evidence that points toward that what we said must have hurt a few people in the higher up echelons of, not power, of control here, of this control system here in Austria. Me and Liz in January 2021, and even before that, already in December 2021 and January 2022, we did a few video series, first in English,
Yeah.
exposing the pedo-satanic criminal network.
Yeah.
You can go and look back in this time. We did multiple parts, I think 3, exposing it in English. And then when things really hotted up was when me and Liz started speaking out in German. And just so happens that it was 2 to 3 weeks after we did part 2 of exposing this pedo-satanic criminal network and connecting this network to Saint Corona, where we claim that the high priest of Satanism, his name is Franzi Vogel.
Yeah.
2 to 3 weeks later, Liz's child Leonie gets stolen by social services, and she gets blackmailed into subordinating and going back into the
And
system.
not
And I
able
also have
public.
and not to go public, exactly. That's also what the social services said. No, you are not allowed to go public. Okay, I don't think you're an authority on that, and you don't control my life. But the thing is also, what precipitated this escalation of things, because there's an escalation, there's a power dynamic at play here in our direct experience, and that escalated due to the medicine work that me and Liz were doing at the time with 2 ayahuasca and datura ceremonies that we did in February 2021. So it's been a really, really challenging time, immensely, and You know, just to share that it's, you know, we can't go back into the system anymore. There's no way. We are meant to teach the information that we've been given by plant medicine intelligence, the highest form of intelligence that exists here on Earth. And these medicinal plants is teaching us natural intelligence. And this is what is going to come with the Gnostic Takeover University. Now, this is an ongoing organizational thing that we're involved in right now. And we are just asking you, the community, that whoever's here and watching this, you know, go and share this video if it inspires you, if you think this information is helpful. And anyone who can help, we ask for help. Because just today, for example, in order to be able to make our pesto from the wild garlic that grows here, the beautiful wild garlic and other wild herbs, we bought 3 bottles of olive oil. And it's very difficult to say for me, but we just don't know what's going to happen next. We have no idea. And also our trust that we're doing the right thing at times is very difficult when it's just so challenging, when you don't have a regular paycheck coming in. And with the work that we do, and it's been so normalized that it's always a difficult topic for me to speak about. This is also something why I've had a breakdown again yesterday, because I have to realize that we ourselves give ourselves value. And I also made videos about this before also, and still I fall into the trap that because we have issues with money, that I'm not worthy and that I have no value. And in actual fact, I can give a shout out to someone who wants to stay anonymous. Last week we received an incredibly amazing gift, a donation that we didn't expect from a wonderful woman, and we want to say thank you at this point. It really, really helped us out a lot. And you see, the only thing we can do is just take things step by step. And I always feel guilty when I share things like this. I feel like a total loser, because you're begging people for money.
This is the program, we tell you.
This is the program. However, when I don't say anything, you know, I don't know how to receive. And then people say, well, you don't say you have got no money, you have to intend that you've got a lot of money and it's already there. Well, great spiritual teaching.
And it's not authentic.
It's not authentic, exactly. Because this is what I also wanted to talk about today, actually, is the sort of schism, the friction that exists between to just accept the way we are in this moment, to just accept the reality that we don't know what's going to come. And it brings up all the fear, which is the reason why I ask anyone who can donate. Underneath in the description, I haven't been able to pay my website provider the 125 euros. I'm not able to pay it, so my website is not working, so therefore people can't log in to my PayPal account. But it's so simple. Underneath in the description you find the email address where you can send us a gift that keeps us going and makes our work possible to continue. And the more I talk about it, the more I feel difficult emotions coming up. But this is what I'm going to be processing off air, off the camera. And it's always this thing that we've got a future perspective, a future view of ourselves, the way we see ourselves, where things flow, where I mean, we don't even have our own place to live at the moment. So therefore, everything is just is actually forcing us to just trust. And trust in the process, however that is sometimes really, really difficult, and that's what we also want to share with you. And the best way to go about is to just accept how things are. But it's really, I really feel bad about it when I have to ask my dad for financial help. Because I can't keep doing that, and it feels degrading. Because you have all that we've done, the path that we've taken, the incredible difficulties that we've been through, and the incredible knowledge that we've gained, that we're putting together in the courses for the Gnostic Takeover University. It all just feels like, what does it all mean? And just to leave it at that note, this video today, all that's left is that we become friends with ourselves in the present moment and accept the situation for how it is and feel those emotions that were triggered, like with me, for example, the program telling me you're begging people for money, you're not good enough. This is the lunatic asylum right here in the mind, this silent, oftentimes loud tyrant in our mind, and that brings up difficult emotions, which is the reason why I'm saying it. So we are keeping it real here. We're real people. We're doing everything we can to take back the earth. We're a small community here still, and thank you for being a part here of this community. And whoever can support us will support you also in the future. Everything comes back to you when you let the energy flow, because it's also easy to point at the money makers, or they're the problem, the ones who create the money. But how about our reluctance to give where help is needed, to hold back and only think for ourselves and not let the money flow? If I had money and I would be listening to someone who speaks the truth, who's doing the best he can to be the best version of themselves and really make a difference in this world, taking down this criminal, parasitic, psychopathic class once and for all, I would support them. What is hindering us? Or is the blockage only inside of me? Anyways, thank you for listening. And the most important is that you're here together with us, sharing this journey. And whoever desubscribes because we ask for support, well, leave. We don't want you here in the first place. Because we're just being honest and fully authentic. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's not something I want to do. I'd like to do all of my work for free. I'd love to do all of this for free. But the reality I live in still is different. I have to accept things the way they are in this moment right now. And that's the challenge.
So, the very best to you all outside there. Don't forget how precious you are. Recognize it. And be the best version of yourself. Don't lose your courage. And stand up for yourself. And by doing this, you are doing it for the whole humanity, as we are doing it. So wish you a wonderful evening and all the best.
Or a wonderful day, wherever that may be where you are.
Last thing we want to show you is our favorite space in the river.
Exactly. This is where we tank our energy. need a water.
See you.
Take very good care, everyone. No offense. I can already feel my inner tyrant is at war with me. But that's fine. I'll have everything in my heart and inside of me to overcome it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being the force to reckon with, to be reckoned with in these times. Times of transition, times of transformation. The time where we truly get into our power. Thank you for being a part here at the Gnostic Takeover. We love you and we see you very soon again. Take care. Best of greetings from nature. And till next time, bye bye.